leave that one there. We'll move on to the next video that we have on our boy Al Sharpton. We're going to bring the race hustler Al Sharpton in, see what he's talking about. Apparently, he took a big bag from Kamala Harris, and that seems to be a no-no for journalists. So let's take a look at this video, and I'll get y'all thoughts on it. 1 second. All right, here we go.
Want 50 years from now, history to say about Kamala Harris?
I hope that, and I really do work that my life will have proven to have been a life that is about fighting for the people.
The cost of that softball interview was a whopping $500,000. That is what the Harris campaign provided to Al Sharpton's nonprofit prior to her sit-down interview with Sharpton, and that's certainly raising some eyebrows. Certainly.
So just to be clear, journalists, so I guess there's a difference between, because I knew that Kamala paid to go on The View, but I didn't know that it was I mean, it makes sense, but I never really thought about it, that journalists are not allowed to take money from the person that they're getting ready to interview. It goes against their journalist ethics or something like that. Don't quote me. But it makes sense. Like, yeah, I'm just going to take a big bag of money from the person that I'm about to interview. Yeah, I'm probably going to be a little bit biased when we go into the interview. And Al Sharpton, I guess it would be more acceptable if he came out and acknowledged that before the interview, or obviously even right after the interview, better than us finding out now. But apparently this is an ethics violation. MSNBC, they haven't commented on it. So who knows what's going to happen. But this is the type of, let's let the young Turks talk. Let's let Anna talk, see what she says.
Because, it goes against common journalistic ethics. But nonetheless, the Harris campaign made two separate $250,000 donations to Al Sharpton's National Action Network, an anti-discrimination group, on September 5th and on October 1st, the second coming weeks before Sharpton interviewed Harris on the network. Now, Sharpton did not mention the contributions that the Harris campaign made to his nonprofit at all. There was no disclosure about it whatsoever. And as far as MSNBC goes, they told Chuck Ross at the Washington Free Beacon that they were unaware of the campaign donation or the donation to the nonprofit owned by Al Sharpton. Now, that could be true. I don't know, but MSNBC would not confirm whether they're considering reprimanding Sharpton, if there's going to be any consequences for this. Now, the Society of Professional Journalists also told the Free Beacon, while Al Sharpton may not consider himself a journalist, many viewers do. When TV news broadcasters do not report their conflicts of interest or conduct their work in ways that run counter to ethical journalism, it builds distrust among their audiences and places a black eye on both their network and the profession.
And this is why MSNBC's losing ratings and CNN is losing even more, because it's a lack of trust. Y'all done told us all this stuff before the election, all this, and it just seems like even if you really meant it, you were wrong. So it's like a financial advisor giving me a whole bunch of advice saying this is going to happen. This is going to look, you may have had some amazing intentions, but you were wrong. So it is what it is. It's a performance-based business, right? So regardless, it's going to be an issue. But the fact that Al Sharpton is taking money on their network while interviewing a presidential candidate, to me, that definitely puts a bad stain on the network. And maybe that's the reason why they're not coming out and giving any feedback on her, or not saying a statement, anything. So I don't know. Does this make y'all look at MSNBC any differently? Did you not trust them from the beginning, so therefore you're not even surprised? And maybe that's the position that I was in, because when I heard this Al Sharpton thing maybe a week or so ago, but it didn't even. I just assumed that everybody was getting paid, so I didn't even really look into it or have the thought process to say, like, damn, if journalists are getting paid, then obviously this is going to be very biased. But I just thought that I didn't know that there was an ethics violation that was centered around that type of thing. So I don't know.
So,
But can you imagine? Can you imagine if it came out that Trump paid Joe Rogan 500,000, $1 million, whatever it is? Like, it's different when you're paying a celebrity to endorse you. I get that. More than from a journalist standpoint, celebrities don't have a ethics that they need to follow or some type of journalist codes that they need to follow. So I do see that as a little bit different. But this is I don't know. MSNBC may be in some hot water. That's what y'all get for bringing on the Reverend. Same dude that was tattletaling on the Italian mobs. Yeah, this is the same dude. Race hustler. Yeah, same guy. That's the guy who we're going to look to for political advice. Makes a lot of sense.
Earlier, I think it was last week, we had Representative Ro Khanna on the show. And we asked him the questions we wanted to ask him. Had Ro Khanna provided a donation to a nonprofit that doesn't exist, I don't have a nonprofit, I would at least have to disclose that to you, but that would be a conflict of interest. I wouldn't have taken that money to begin with because that money influences the way you're gonna carry out this interview.
Okay, can we just be honest? Al Sharpton is the original grifter. So if you don't know, back in the days in New York, anytime there was any kind of racial conflict, this fat ass would show up in a jumpsuit, and he would demagogue against Jews, by the way, specifically, and get people super mad to the point where they nearly attacked Jewish people. And he was a menace, an absolute menace in the New York area. Okay, and then all that got magically forgiven. Why did it get forgiven when that?
Time out. Is Al Sharpton on Ozempic? That's a real question. Is because keep going. Let's keep
that
going.
Stuff never gets forgiven.
Why did it get forgiven?
Because he decided to embrace professional corruption. He was running 2-bit scams back in the day because he didn't know any better, right? But he's a smart guy, so he wisened up and he's like, oh, the way the professionals do this is they kiss the ass of the donors, they kiss the ass of the politicians, and they get the real money, the big money. And did he shake down a lot of businesses saying, hey, if you don't give me money, I'm gonna call you racist? Okay, go ahead and catch feelings. Yes, he did, okay? And do you wanna know how Comcast was allowed to merge and actually acquire NBC and MSNBC? They had a massive race problem. Al Sharpton came in and said, no, they don't. They don't have any race problem. Guess where Al Sharpton wound up? Hired by Comcast at MSNBC. Funny how that works, right? He got way better on his grift, okay? And he's been taking this kind of money his whole life, and that's why he does the softball interviews. That's why if you criticize Al Sharpton in the old days, people are like, God damn, yes. Now if you criticize Al Sharpton, they go, oh, well, you're being a racist, racist. No. Why? Because he's now part of the establishment. So now his new mob, the establishment cartel, protects Al Sharpton, and as he runs the scam time and time again. And there he is sitting on Morning Joe as they lecture about good journalism, a story we covered earlier in the show, right?
Wow.
Come on.
I didn't.
Poverty pimping, bruh. All these cats, bruh. They try to squeeze every single dollar they can out of people's grief, out of people's. It's the same. It's the Ben Crump. It's the Ben Crump. Somebody got shot. Here comes Ben Crump. It's just the same tactics. These tactics have been used for a very long time. We don't need to elaborate on them anymore. Uncle Al may be looking for a new network, so hopefully he could put that $500K. He may start something on his own. Who knows? But hopefully he puts it to good use. All right, so let's move on to this last topic, and then I'm gonna let y'all go because I gotta go. Team Harris. So this is an interesting video where Kamala Harris's team, they're explaining why they turned down certain interviews like Joe Rogan's and their opinion on their strategy with the election. So it's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.